You recently, I guess it was in May, so a few months ago, you were in Minneapolis, and you spoke at an event co-sponsored by the local Veterans for Peace and Women's Against Military Madness chapters. And we actually have some footage of you getting yelled at, and then the footage ends abruptly because you're filming this with your phone, and then your phone is grabbed. Can you set up what happened, and then we'll show the video?
Yeah, let me just say I've been on about a 70-city tour, and most of the time it's great discussions, sometimes very heated discussions, which I welcome. But other times there have been so many protests from those who support the Ukrainian resistance or Ukrainian Americans that the talks have been canceled at universities, at bookstores, at peace churches. And this was an example of a very vociferous group of protesters, a very aggressive group, a scary group, and how it turned into not only did he grab my phone, but then when I asked somebody from the Veterans for Peace to come and help me get my phone back, they ended up pummeling him, and he had to go to the hospital for a dislocated shoulder. He is still recovering from that. So it's an example of, yes, even in this country, advocating for peace talks can be very dangerous.
You're a pawn for the worst people in the world. And the Ukrainian people want us to stand up to you and your lies, because you're a liar. And I want you to know that everywhere you go, we don't like you. You're not accepted. The true anti-imperialists in this world oppose you because you're a liberal. You're not an anti-imperialist. You support Putin. And I'll tell you what else.
So that's where your, I guess, phone gets grabbed. And then how old was this person who got his shoulder dislocated?
Oh, he's in his 70s. He's an elderly veteran. And, I felt awful about it because all he was doing is coming in to try to help me. And so it was a terrible example, but I would say that it's so crazy out there, Katie, how the people that you'd think would be leftists, progressives, many people who I've worked with over the years have had their heads turned around on this one. And it's not just that they disagree, it's that they disagree in such a disagreeable way, such a way that can be very aggressive and violent as well. So it's unfortunate. I'm going back out on the speaking tour. I'm going to be in New England this summer. I think it's important to be out there organizing, educating, and I welcome people who have a different point of view, but let's talk about it in a civilized way. I don't even mind, I'm a protester, Katie. I don't mind if they run up on the stage and grab the mic. I have had that several times, and I say, welcome, here's the mic, use it, give us your point of view. That I consider part of nonviolent protests, and I welcome that, but not this other kind of stuff.
You had your phone grabbed, just to clarify, but it was someone else who was actually physically attacked trying to get your phone back.
Yes, but I have been spit at. I have been pushed. I have faced tremendous aggression in several of these locations. So this wasn't the only one. This is one that we happen to have video footage of.
Why do you think there is such vitriol towards you and others like you?
Well, yes, certainly it's not just towards me. It's towards Jeffrey Sachs. It's towards so many people who have really just been advocating for peace talks. They say that we distort the history of this, that we don't give agency to the Ukrainians themselves, who are the ones that rose up against an oligarch, a dictator, Yanukovych, and we say yes, they did, but then it turned very ugly with the neo-Nazis violently turning it into a coup. We also talk about the billions of dollars of U.S. money that's gone into building up the anti-Russian sentiment and organizations. And they try to belittle that and say that, they might have given that money, but these sentiments were really from the grassroots. which is true as well. It's a combination of those things. They also say that we distort this idea that the Minsk Accords were a good agreement, and that the Ukrainians were the ones who wouldn't comply with the agreement, and on and on. But I guess their view is that because we put in a context that is not meant to justify the invasion, but to understand it, that is somehow justifying the invasion, which it absolutely is not.